I don't want to just default to Wimmity Wham Wham Wazzle when I don't have an intro, but...
Wham Bam Thank You Man?
You could have gone for Wham Bam Shang-a-Lang.
Wham Bam Shang-a-Lang.
Yeah, from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Anyways, welcome to Under the Bridge, everybody.
Welcome to Under the Bridge.
I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll, pronouns he, him.
And I am Greg, aka Greg, also pronouns he, him.
And I almost forgot what comes next, but this is our podcast where we talk movies of pop culture variety. Sometimes comic news, sometimes gaming news, pretty much always movie news, and also pretty much always a movie review. So make sure to ring the like button, smash that bell, and share the video around if you're into that sort of thing, because it really helps us out, and we appreciate it.
Indubitably.
Yeah! Alright, I gotta kick this off with some sad news, and it's sad for multiple reasons.
Mm-hmm.
The first of which is that esteemed comic writer Peter David has passed away at the age of 68.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into causes because, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. I do want to note, had a very long and esteemed 12-year run on The Incredible Hulk that really delved into the Hulk's personality alter system functionally.
Oh, really? I never knew that was ever expanded upon, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that's all over the place in the Hulk comics. The movies won't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but the comics, it's everywhere.
Is there a reason why?
Because they don't make Hulk movies.
Fair.
But he's also, and this is probably the most notable thing for me, co-creator of Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, okay.
But his career runs longer than that. He's also got big runs on X Factor. But God, this is all over the place already. The main reason I wanted to bring this up is to highlight a specific issue, and I hate feeling like I'm using a person's death as a springboard for something, but I feel like it highlights something really kind of fucking despicable.
Mm-hmm.
Which is that, despite being a writer who's done all these amazing works, and despite having been a co-creator of Spider-Man 2099, aka, one of the main characters in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, one of the biggest movies last year, I think? Was it? I know it made bank.
Oh, it absolutely made bank.
Hold on a sec, I'm pulling up exact numbers. Yeah, okay, $690 million. That's quite a bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
Despite being the co-creator of one of the main characters in that movie, arguably the main antagonist.
Mm.
Well, okay, the Spot's the main antagonist, but, well, then again...
Secondary antagonist?
Despite being the co-creator of a very prominent character in that movie, who might be on either one side of the alignment spectrum or the other, it depends how you look at it. Mr. Peter David's health problems were so prolific that he had to set up a GoFundMe. To get help for raising the money to address these issues that he was having.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
Which is just... It's fucked up, frankly. I don't know if we're deep in enough where I should bleep that. I kind of don't care. Because it's just... I get it. A lot of hands go into making these characters that are used as a springboard for these wildly successful movie adaptations. And... yeah, I get... number sums, once you start divvying it up like that, because especially because studios are cheapskates, it gets harder to see any of the money go to the people who actually make the movies if you start doing things like that. But you'd think they could at least cover the cost of whatever was going on.
Yeah, you would think so.
After all the great stories he gave them, and again, being a co-creator of Spider-Man 2099, aka one of the things that allowed Across the Spider-Verse to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
It's frustrating. I'm gonna go start working on my Hulk collection now, I think. I mean, I have some older Hulk runs, I got World War Hulk, I've got... Oh god, that is old now. That's from the, mid-2000s, Greg.
Is it now?
Yeah, World War Hulk is from, mid-late 2000s.
Huh.
I think I've got a volume of his work, I don't remember, though. Either way, maybe I'll start looking into that. A little too late now, I guess, but...
Right.
I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. This sucks.
It sucks. I think that's the long and short of it, is that no matter what, this situation sucks.
Yeah. And condolences, of course, to his friends and family, the people who actually knew him as a person and not just enjoyed the things he created. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the part that's really important.
And
also, studios, corporations, big money people, just stop being ghouls, alright?
Yeah, just stop being... dicks.
It really ought to be that simple. I'm gonna move on now.
Alrighty.
You ready for an Elden Ring movie?
I need to fucking finish the game.
Because let me tell you...
It's so hard.
A friend of ours dropped this news on me a few days ago, and I said, that's not true, you're lying. And
it's like, you're fucking lying.
And it's not specifically because he said Elden Ring movie. It's because he said Elden Ring movie directed by Alex Garland for A24. And that's when I said, you're full of shit.
So my thing about that is that at some point, there was either going to be a movie about Elden Ring or a movie about Dark Souls. I'm extremely biased in saying this, but if you're going to do any FromSoft IP, I think Armored Core could lean itself pretty good towards a movie.
Yeah, you would.
Yes, I absolutely would, and I will not apologize for that. But at the same time, a From Software action RPG being turned into a movie with involvement from Garland and A24 is probably the most, yeah, that makes sense combination I can think of.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it. It's one of those things you would expect to hear in a parody or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bizarro World Alternate News, A24 Elden Ring movie, from Alex Garland. But I mean...
Yeah.
I guess we can both look forward to this because you liked Civil War and I liked Men. The movie.
I was gonna say the movie.
Not that there's anything wrong with the alternative.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, if Chris Evans or Ryan Gosling or Kumail Nanjiani wanted to make out, who am I to say no?
So, who do you think they would get for this film?
I don't know. I barely know anything about Elden Ring except it's basically FromSoft's take on Norse mythology, if I got that right.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of the writing was headed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, who basically runs From Software at this point. But some of the world building was also done by George R.R. Martin.
Oh, now I hate it. Now I just don't care.
Aw, man, I didn't know that you disliked R.R. Martin, honestly.
I don't know. It's hard for me to say I dislike him. I've got a real sense of antipathy towards Game of Thrones, and I think that's mostly just because I didn't really watch the series. The first and only episode I've ever seen was the next to last episode. Naturally, I had questions.
And the first and only episode I've seen was the last episode.
So between the two of us, we know how Game of Thrones ends, and literally nothing else.
Nothing else.
That's
zero context.
Fucking phenomenal.
That's pretty funny.
Ugh.
I mean, oh god, I don't know if my coworker he's a big FromSoft fan in general, but he's really big into Dark Souls and Elden Ring. I don't know if he knows about it, because I haven't actually had a chance to talk to him about it, but I feel like if we go see this, we have to bring him with us.
Oh yeah, I'm game 100%.
Yeah, because you've never played the game. I've barely played the game. It's one of those games where I can tell it's a good game, but I'm too lost and I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm too stubborn to, like, try and look up stuff, because it's thinking, like, no, I want to experience it as it's intended and get my shit stomped in, because it's a FromSoft game, and therefore it's really fucking hard. But I feel like it would be fun to see it with him, just if for no other reason than it would be a hilarious, like, sounding board. It's like, is this good? Is this not good?
Yeah, no, that sounds alright.
Yeah, so I am definitely interested in this, to see where this goes.
Oh, I'll check it out. I'll give it a shot. Get me a trailer, by all means.
Yeah, we need a trailer more than anything else. And also a trailer from an Armored Core movie, but again, that's just my personal bias leaking out.
I don't actually remember what I thought about Ex Machina. I know I thought Annihilation was kind of weird, except for the skull-faced demon bear, which I respect specifically because it gave me nightmares. Well, that and 6 cans of vanilla Coke in one night, but...
Oh, gee. Yeah, that'll... What? There's so many better options than vanilla Coke, though.
I was thirsty and craving sugar, alright?
There's better options if you're craving sugar.
That's not what this is about. Elden Ring movie.
We're not gonna have this fight again.
Sure, get me a release date, whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's probably gonna be at least a couple years.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of release dates, got some bad news! They gave Blade a release date just to push it back again. I'm kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's like, yeah!
No, I'm kidding about that.
That movie is never happening at this point.
No, look, yeah, probably not.
I wouldn't be shocked if it came out if it was quietly canceled.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. No, the actual problem, well, it's not really a problem, and I hate to frame it like that, because that's not really fair, but Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars have both been delayed.
Is that a bad thing for you? Because I know you're not exactly looking forward to Doomsday.
It's bad in the sense of, I don't want more time to have to think about that. It's kind of like Kraven getting delayed. I don't mean to directly compare Avengers Doomsday to Kraven, but after a certain point, you just want the movie to come out so you can just rip the Band-Aid off and just not...
Never have to think about it again.
I say that, and yet I keep going back to Kraven the Hunter. What the fuck is this?
Come on, man, I just want this to come out just so I have to stop thinking about Doomsday.
The Sony universe is dead, but its ghost continues to haunt me.
It's from all those years of trauma that you unnecessarily put yourself through?
I guess. But no, Avengers Doomsday has now been pushed back from May 1st, 2026 to December 18th, 2026. And Secret Wars has been pushed back to December 17th, 2027 from its May 7th, 2027 release date. That's not the only shuffle, though. And by shuffle, I mean actually just straight-up removals of things. Because apparently...
Oh, boy.
A previously untitled Marvel movie was removed from February 13th, 2026. And then 2 films that were previously reserved for MCU titles on November 6, 2026 and November 5th, 2027 have been updated to just untitled Disney films.
Huh.
So, with this new release schedule, that means that after Fantastic Four this summer, we don't have an MCU movie coming out until Spider-Man Brand New Day in July.
Oh, wow.
And then Doomsday, and then I think there's one movie scheduled between Doomsday and Secret Wars?
And that one is gonna be Blade, for real this time.
Oh, no shot.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe Doctor Strange 3? Who knows at this point? At this rate, I kind of wouldn't... I can't believe I'm saying this, but if they did want to do a reboot, maybe not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Just so they can... I don't know. I mean, I'm not upset about the movie being delayed. Take all the time you need to get it right, but... This really doesn't help the feeling that this has gone on too long and has just been spinning its wheels, specifically the Multiverse Saga section of things.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like, at the risk of potentially starting an argument, I don't know, from an individual movie basis, the movies, to a certain degree, if you look at them in the vacuum, are solid overall. It really is the whole thing of, alright, so the multiverse aspect, where are we with that? Well...
Yeah, no, the individual movies are still fine, but the thing is, the broader connective tissue of the MCU is one of its main appeals as a franchise, especially as individual franchises take longer and longer to follow up. So this general feeling that the broader plot they're building towards isn't really going anywhere, or nothing much has really been building to it except setting up not even all, but just some of the players who will be involved, only for you to go, psych, actually a lot of the main characters are going to be people from completely different film franchises that are unrelated to this timeline is frustrating, is where I'm at.
I give you the B-Vengers.
Yeah?
In mass, honestly.
Yeah.
Beyond what's already been established over the last couple months.
At least it's not like we're completely out of stuff, because we're still gonna have, I mean, Ironheart comes out before Fantastic Four First Steps, but we still got Eyes of Wakanda and Marvel Zombies and Wonder Man to look forward to this year.
Oh, yeah.
And Vision Quest comes out in 2026, so that'll be fun. And then, boy, you know what would be really funny if it was the movie that comes out between Brand New Day and Doomsday? Armor Wars. Remember that?
I think I remember us talking about it.
Because it was supposed to be a show, and then they made it a movie, and now who fucking knows? Or you know what else would be great? Shang-Chi too!
Oh wait, that's right. Wasn't Armor Wars like the roadie show?
Yeah!
Didn't we get a trailer for that? I could have sworn we got like a trailer or some kind of teaser for it.
We never got anything aside from them announcing it.
Oh, God. Okay.
Rhodey could really use that boost now that Secret Invasion fucking went all he's been a Skrull and the director's going, yeah, he's been that since Civil War. Fuck off! No, he fucking hasn't!
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Fuck Secret Invasion!
Mm-hmm.
I could forgive every other misstep Marvel has made across these last few years if Secret Invasion just hadn't fucking sucked.
Right.
But the fact that I have to sit with that! What a just... Fuck!
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Anyways, movie delays, it's fine, it happens. You poked the bear from his sleep, you cannot cry when he tangos. We shall continue.
As long as you don't give the bear cocaine as well.
To trailer time!
To trailer time.
It's trailer time again. We've got movie previews to watch. It's trailer time again. Alright, so we got a trailer for Zootopia 2, which is less of a trailer and it feels more like a teaser concept, but I dig it.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a teaser. It definitely feels like it's trying to establish, if anything, the vibe of the movie, while not giving away too much as far as what's going to happen or who these new characters are. The
vibe being guinea pigs in jumpsuits playing a synthesizer.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Same.
Also, Judy and Nick trying to keep a reptile out of the hands of the police. Considering this is the first reptile we've seen in Zootopia, we can only assume that an entire group of people's existence has been criminalized by this city, which, I wonder what that's like living in the United States.
You know, it was one of those things where that did pop in my head. I'm like, it's a Disney movie. They wouldn't be that on the nose. And then as the trailer kept on going, I was just like, or maybe they will. That would be something.
See, I keep telling myself I'm gonna stop making these jokes, but the thing is, art imitates life so frequently that it's impossible not to draw parallels to the dystopian hellscape we find ourselves in.
You know, we want to stop making these jokes, but goddamn, artists and whatnot just keep on making it easy for us.
They keep lobbing it over the plate! The jokes write themselves, and by jokes, I mean they're not even really fucking jokes, they're just sad observations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm losing my fucking mind!
Live on the podcast, Cody losing his mind. Although you've gotten that a whole bunch of times already. See the Dwayne Johnson short for further.
Oh, I found something else to hate on about, but it's work related, so I'm not going to go on about it.
Fair enough. It's even more so than Dwayne Johnson having the ability to act and choosing not to.
I'm still mad about it, but that's no longer consuming my personality.
Well, that's good?
I'm out of my hating Dwayne Johnson as my entire personality phase.
Okay, that part is good.
You know what? Friendship ended with being upset at Dwayne Johnson. Now, being exhausted with Marvel movies is my new best friend. I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. I'm looking forward to Zootopia 2. Because the first one, pretty damn good.
Yeah, the first one was a riot. It was great.
And it looks like they're teasing a bunch of returning characters, including potentially Bellwether, and I wonder how that's gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like, there's some secret edict keeping the reptiles out of Zootopia that Bellwether would be privy to being the deputy mayor or whatever.
Right.
If I guess this off the cuff, I'm gonna be real nettled. I'm gonna be real fucking upset.
Literally inhales. Oh, you're the fucking bad guy.
I'm still proud of that one.
Yeah.
No, I forget. When's this coming out? I want to say... It's this year, right? November. Alright.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because it said
November.
like in theaters in November.
Alright. Yeah, I guess we'll see as we get closer, because they'll probably release a more detailed trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We also got another trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about it, honestly. It's a Jurassic Park movie. You don't really care. I mean, even though whatever the humans is doing is central to the story, you don't really come for that. You come for the fucking dinosaurs fucking their shit up.
Also, am I
that's
reading...
what you're here for.
Am I reading this trailer right? Is there just an unrelated family on this horrible dinosaur island?
I don't know. That was kind of something I was thinking about. I'm just like, wait, what's y'all's story?
I assume so, because why else would somebody's kid be on this trip? But, flip side, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
You're just fucking rafting down a river, it's like, oh no, there's a T-Rex. What, you didn't see the fucking mosasaur when you came in?
Wow, what a wonderful exotic nature timeshare. Oh, wow, that's a realistic, like, T-Rex animatronic. Ah!
That's a weird dog!
Man, its breath even smells like that, too. At which point the kids go, Dad, how do you know what a T-Rex's breath smells like? And it turns out that Dad is Adam Driver, from that one weird-ass dinosaur space movie.
Oh, shit, 65? Oh, man. See, that's the kind of... What's the word? Antipathic? Antipathetic? What is the...
I'm feeling pretty antipathetic.
That's the kind of indifferent antipathy I wish I could have for Kraven the Hunter. Just forgetting about it, and then occasionally remembering it exists, and then just going, oh yeah. Anyways.
I mean, antipathetic is a word, and I'm probably mispronouncing it. It means showing or feeling a strong aversion.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure, because, like, antipathetic sounds wrong, but how else would you pronounce that? Antipathetic? That sounds even worse.
I mean, antipathy is also a word.
No, that's antipathy.
Oh, antipathy. Okay, I can't read.
This side won't stop me because I can't read. Maybe that's how that family got on the island.
It's like dinosaurs are ahead. It's like, Dad, should we look at the sign? Signs are meant to keep us down with the system, honey.
The signs are just ways for the man to distract you.
Signs are ways for the man to distract you, like other signs, like, speed limits and loading zones ahead.
Kid, Signs is just an M. Night Shyamalan movie that the government bankrolled to make us think that aliens weren't real and that if they were, they'd be easily thwarted.
I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, see, no... That's what I wish I could do for Kraven.
It's just forget that it exists.
Yeah. Until something... Deja vu, Jesus.
Deja vu, Eurobeat intensifies.
Anyways, we also got a trailer for Caught Stealing.
Yes, we did. Boy, this looks like a wild movie with a wild cast of characters.
I think Zoe Kravitz said it best. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, honestly. This is one of those weird ones where I'm looking this trailer and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to take from this and what exactly is going on, but I'm still drawn in either way, in large part due to the cast in this movie, because we have Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, Regina King. Apparently Vincent D'Onofrio is in this movie.
Wait, it says Vincent D'Onofrio is Shmooly. That means he's one of the Hebrew gangsters. With a name like that, he has to be. Liev Schreiber? Fuck me! Sony's still fucking haunting me! You know who's in this?
What?
El Muerto himself! Bad Bunny!
Oh, that's right, Bad Bunny is in this too!
That movie didn't even get made and it's still fucking hanging over me! I really ought to see a therapist about this.
You probably should.
Not healthy to go on about things this way. But, once it's in your head, it's like that one song in Regular Show, Summertime Lovin', Lovin' in the Summertime.
It starts with your thumb, and then it gets fun.
No.
No.
We're not doing that.
Oh, that is not workplace appropriate.
No, not even for this podcast. But go check out Regular Car Reviews. It's a fun channel.
It's a really fun channel.
I like how we're directing people to go watch a YouTube channel that has
no relation whatsoever.
Not just no relation whatsoever, but hundreds of thousands more views than us, aka really does not need the help, but spread the love around. It's not about need, it's about deserve, and you know what? Seems like a cool guy.
You gotta send them a message.
Yeah. Where does I go with it? Caught Stealing. Yeah, this looks weird.
Yeah, this looks very weird.
I don't know what to make of any of this, but I'm about it, I think. I do like me some weird, dry crime thrillers.
Yes, with some interesting personalities to boot.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what do you mean there's a person who goes by the name Action Bronson?
Oh yeah, he's a rapper.
Holy shit! That's a badass fucking name that he's chosen for himself.
Yeah, he's a rapper. I'm pretty sure he used to be a professional chef as well.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he used to be a chef, and then he quit being a chef to pursue a hip-hop career.
Holy shit, that's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, if I'm thinking of the right person.
If I'm thinking of the right Action Bronson, Well,
I don't know, dude. Yeah, he was a chef.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's funny.
Wait a minute. Okay, Darren Aronofsky's directing it. Why does it say an adaptation by David Hayter? Is he how is he involved in this? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What does it mean?
I'm past it. I don't care anymore. I'm over it. I mean, I still care about the movie. I still want to go see it, but I don't care about following this particular rabbit hole anymore. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm tired, alright? I'm very tired. I keep thinking about Kraven, and it just keeps exhausting me all over again. So, we're gonna go to the fucking box... Wait a minute, Darren Aronofsky. I know that name.
We're not going to the fucking box office.
Have I seen anything he's done? I don't think I've actually seen any of his movies. I gotta fix that. Oh yeah, The Wrestler, Black Swan, The Whale, all great things that I really wanted to see and have not seen yet. You know, I went in a diatribe at work today about how, for somebody who really likes movies, the list of things that I haven't seen versus what I have is just shocking and kind of disappointing. Like the fact that I've never seen a Matrix or a Terminator or a RoboCop. I've never seen Gone with the Wind or Lawrence of Arabia, but I've seen Dora and the Lost City of Gold. My favorite movie of last year was Hundreds of Beavers, and if you want an opinion on which Magic Mike movie is the best, it's XXL.
I would say that makes you cultured.
But it doesn't fucking feel like it, that's for sure. Let's go to the goddamn box office.
Let's go to the box office.
We did see the highest grossing movie domestically this weekend because it was, in fact, the live-action remake of Disney's Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Across the 4-day weekend, it's being reported that it took in $183 million domestically in total, and it's currently sitting at $341.7 million worldwide against a $100 million budget.
That's it? That's its budget? That's a lot lower than I expected.
When you consider all the CGI they cut out due to certain creative decisions, makes sense it's only $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And despite that sneering comment, I'm going to say something controversial.
Oh boy.
I'm not going to make the joke. I was going to say something actually controversial, but instead here's my stupid movie opinion.
Are you trying to be the better man right now?
Yeah, a little bit. This is fine.
This does not suck.
Don't get me wrong. It's inferior to the original in basically every way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it twisted. This is nowhere near the original Lilo and Stitch. As these live-action remakes go, it's a 9 out of 10, which means as movies go, it's basically a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And on the one hand, it's a little more insulting for the fact that the original was such a good movie. However, I'll also say in its defense, if any property Disney has can survive a less than stellar adaptation, it's Lilo and Stitch, because, well, I mean, Lilo and Stitch has had adaptations that much more directly shit on the message of the original than this one. So, just to throw it out there, it's not a travesty, it's just not nearly as good as the original. The side characters are almost all entirely worse than they were in the original, and Lilo's had some of the edges sanded off, but she's still solidly Lilo, Stitch is a really good Stitch, and Nani basically gets not quite elevated to main character status, because I feel like she was also a main character in the first one, but she feels much more present in this one.
Yeah, she's a lot more prominent, definitely has a bigger overarching role in the movie, for sure.
Despite a different take on the interpretation of Ohana Means Family, I still feel like this is a true interpretation of that central core theme of the original movie. And, oh, yeah, also, if you want somebody to bitch at about because they didn't keep Pleakley in drag, then I'd like to direct your attention to the fucking internet chuds who have been complaining about forced diversity for the last half a decade plus. Because I guarantee you, those motherfuckers are the reason why Disney went, we're remaking Lilo and Stitch. Should we include the recurring gag about the male alien with the traditionally female name who dresses in women's clothing? Well,
yeah.
Analysis of reception to our past bunch of movies indicates that if we do that, they're gonna call it woke and DEI. Oh, well, we better avoid that then. That's not hip anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, way to fucking go, assholes!
Right.
But I mean, mostly it's fine.
Yeah, as a movie, it's fine. It's not offensively bad. It's honestly pretty hilarious pretty frequently.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that's because the original is.
So my thing when it comes to movies like this, and I think I've said this before on this show, is that for me personally, I try my best not to constantly draw comparisons to the original movies. Like, obviously there's going to be comparisons. I'm not gonna say it's like, this is its own thing, so it should be treated as such. But I do also acknowledge that there are certain things that are going to be lost transitioning from a nearly 20-year-old 2D animated movie. God, it hurts to say that.
Oh, it's gonna get worse. You know how you said nearly 20 years old? Try 23.
Oh, give me a break! Oh, it hurts! It hurts so much!
Yep.
We are old!
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But, there's gonna be certain things that are lost from a fucking 23-year-old 2D animated movie to a current-day live-action adaptation. I'm willing to kind of grade a little bit on a curve due to that. And even though the curve system is fucking stupid. It saved my ass in school, but it was stupid.
Nah, man, curve system's the whole reason Clown in a Cornfield is in the what Martin Scorsese would call cinema tier.
To that end, for me personally, this movie is great. Okay, it's not amazing, but it's very funny. It's very entertaining. It's kind of the lowbrow, low common denominator entertaining to an extent, but it's not so down there that it becomes annoying. A lot of it is also me being won over by, I'm gonna butcher this little girl's name, Maya Keahola, who plays Lilo.
I think. You mixed up some consonants.
Fair. She's great. She is very great in this film.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, even for the fact that they removed some interesting dimensions from Lilo's character, and I'm sure for reasons that are, probably not gonna hold up well.
Mm-hmm.
She's still definitely a weird fucking kid. And
yeah,
that's very important. Still well-meaning, still relatively kind-hearted, but yeah, she's a mischief maker. She gets into some shit. And that's fun to see. It's fun to watch. The fact that they made it fun and not annoying is a testament both to her and the direction of this movie and the script. Although again, to be fair, a lot of the script from the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's definitely some bits that are literally and figuratively pulled from the original film.
And then some things that just aren't. Like, I don't know if this is a spoiler, I'm gonna save it. But, yeah, no. So, I guess we could talk about the premise, but I mean, it's Lilo and Stitch. I feel like everybody's seen it, or...
Yeah, the premise of this movie doesn't really differ that much, if any at all, in the grand scheme of things from the original film. So if you're familiar with the original film, you know how this is gonna go.
And if you're not, it's about the intersecting story of two sisters trying to keep their family together in the wake of a tragedy that claims the lives of both of their parents, leaving 19-year-old Nani to be basically head of household, struggling to hold on to her sister as social services seeks to evaluate whether this is a proper environment for them, and a renegade genetic experiment hell-bent on destroying everything it touches, escaping from potential exile onto a Hawaiian island and being trapped there, forced to play house pet as his creator at the behest of the Galactic Federation hunts him down.
Yeah. There's... actually...
When I put it like that, this sounds terrible.
Yeah. Well, I was going to mention a particular character and the way he does things, but I realized that might be a spoiler.
Is it Jumba?
It's more so what Jumba does in this film, because maybe I'm not remembering a lot of his actions in the original movie, but at a certain point I'm just like, I don't remember you being this much of a total fucking bastard. He was absolutely a bastard, but not to this level.
They definitely made some changes, we'll get into it, but I feel like, if I can say something non-spoilery, Zach Galifianakis was a terrible Jumba pick.
Yeah, he's not... It's the thing of, it's not that he's bad in this movie, he's bad as Jumba, if that makes sense.
I'd say he's bad in this movie, but it's not his fault. He's just a top-down bad pick, and I mean... I can kind of see the logic in the sense of, you'd think he wouldn't be a good Joker, but here we are, so maybe also you think he wouldn't be a good Jumba, but here we are. But, here we are. This is a really bad Jumba. The voice does not fit in the slightest. I know funny accents do not a character make, but I really feel like it was imperative to Jumba's character he has a funny accent. Didn't have to be exactly the same one, because you were never going to replace David Ogden Stiers, but...
Yeah.
It's just bad.
It's not great, and it's unfortunate, especially because Galifianakis' voice is obviously the first thing we get of Jumba, and it doesn't really work, in all honesty.
Meanwhile, Billy Magnuson as Pleakley, a little bit better, where he's still Pleakley, but it's not exactly the same voice, obviously, but it still sounds like recognizably Pleakley, just different.
Yeah, the mannerisms and the way he speaks are there.
Yeah. No, much more of an attempt at an adaptation than a reinterpretation. It's also really frustrating because these two spend a lot of the movie in an actual human disguise where the actors are just playing them, and that's not nearly as fun or funny, and it's one of those You know they did it just so they could save money on CGI, which just kind of underscores the problem of trying to take these animated classics and turn them into live-action movies, which is that you're going to cut these corners because CGI is expensive. Really frustrating. Really frustrating.
Right.
At least Stitch is still Stitch.
Stitch is very much still Stitch in this movie.
Not just because he has the same actor, but they really nailed the chaos gremlin of it all, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I feel like to this movie's credit, the family elements get a little more focus and are all the more stronger for it, but it comes at the expense of the Stitch alien elements of it, you know?
Yeah. We see, of course, like Stitch's destructive side and all that throughout the movie, but there's not as much of his alien shenanigans compared to the original.
Yeah. I mean, there's still some, and especially near the end, but it's definitely a thing of... Part of the charm was watching them wear these unconvincing human disguises and just completely fool everybody. Especially because everybody believes that Stitch is a dog.
For some reason.
He's blue!
He's fucking blue! Have you ever seen a naturally blue dog? Actually blue, not like a blue terrier or whatever.
Yeah, no. I'd say a close second in terms of worst adapted side character is probably Cobra Bubbles, which is a real shame, because Courtney B. Vance is a good actor, and I think he has it in him to be a good Cobra Bubbles, but the direction they chose to go is...
definitely a good bit removed from the original.
Not it, Chief.
Yeah.
This definitely ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all in all, I put this in the This Is Decent tier, because if I may draw a comparison to the other Disney live-action remake we got this year, it is a better movie than Snow White. However, it is a worse remake, and the fact that Lilo and Stitch is, I think, a better movie than the original Snow White means that the fact that this is a worse remake hurts it more, so it all kind of averages out to about the same tier.
Right.
I don't know, what do you think? Should we go into spoilers?
Probably. I can't think of much else to talk about in regards that's not a spoiler.
All in all, I'd say this is worth watching, but definitely not full price ticket, because if you're gonna pay full price ticket, you might as well just pull up Disney Plus and watch the original, you know?
Yeah, honestly.
Especially if you're a family with kids, definitely pull up the original on Disney Plus instead. Watch that.
Yeah, remind them that the original movie still exists. It's 23 years old. It's...
Yeah, how does it feel knowing that the movie is now older than Nani is in the movie? Dang.
The movie is old enough to go to war.
So if you don't want to get spoiled on Lilo and Stitch 2025, make sure to click away. God, I want to curse.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
I know, right? Anyways, make sure to click away in 3, 2, 1. Alright, of all the things in this movie, the greatest addition is clearly I Miss Shredding You.
Oh, that was a good joke.
David has got anti-game, and I am about it.
Yeah, it was, I mean, for one, that was clearly very much a joke, more so for the parents than the kids. But holy shit, the jokes and the one-liners in this movie are great.
Well said, David!
Especially, that was good, but some of the lines we get from Lilo are also pretty great. Just the whole thing of, are you reading? It's like, yeah, I'm reading you like a book. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yep, that's real good.
This is a very funny movie.
Yeah, no, it's funny, and a lot of it's just because they're building off the blueprint of the original, though, so I don't know how much you can really give to this movie, aside from knowing what to keep. But, okay, you know what, it's time to talk about the elephant shark in the room, or lack thereof. Gantu is not in this movie.
Oh, that's right.
And instead, Jumba takes on the traditional villain role, who eventually, after getting fired from retrieving the Stitch for the Galactic Federation, decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna go get my creation back, and I'm gonna rewrite him now that he's achieved empathy and turn him back into a heartless killing machine. And... yeah,
that part was weird. Just immediately going to and referencing 627 in this was fucking weird.
Yeah, I didn't like that part. I really didn't like the 627 part, because that implies that, like, does that mean Stitch has just been rebuilt 626 times?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Guess that means no cousins for any future movies. Actually, wait, if that means no future movies, then you know what, I'll take it. Sorry, Ruben. 625. I'm talking about 625.
Right.
But no, apparently, the director, Dean Fleischer Camp, said about not including Gantu that he thought that Gantu's arrival made it a more conventional movie, and that making Jumba the villain added a personal connection, saying, you want your main antagonist to also be the representative of the theme of the film. It seemed like an opportunity to do that as opposed to just there's a big bad boss that comes down and is shooting lasers at everyone. And on the one hand, I can kind of see that argument, but on the other hand, one, let's not kid ourselves, you did it because CGI is expensive. This movie would be way more than $100 million if you had Gantu in it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And second of all, while I acknowledge that maybe it's not quite as... Actually, no, you know what? I'm going to argue that Gantu actually fit a little bit better in the sense of the antagonistic force on Lilo and Nani's side of the movie is not a bad parental figure. It is the system that is encouraged to separate them under the basis of this is not what's best for everybody. And in that sense, Gantu is a perfect antagonist on the Stitch side of things as a representative of the Galactic Federation, i.e. the system that is trying to separate Stitch because he's a horrible little monster.
It's not me, it's the system! That's what they all say.
That's Okay, here's a good one. You can't give the dogs candy, but it makes them happy. It makes them have diarrhea. That was a good one.
That was a good one. As I say, what do your notes look like for this movie?
Let's see. I've got this opening's very rushed, because it is.
Oh, it was so... The pacing of, like, the first 10 minutes was so fucking weird.
And also not great, because, again, it gives you just enough time to cement that no, Zach Galifianakis is not a good Jumba.
Yeah.
I don't remember the context, but I did write down celebratory poison.
That was the alcohol bit. Where they're talking about people vacationing, it's like they come here to the beach. Yeah, or something like that. Something
they come here to watch the sunset and drink celebratory poison.
Man, that is the most apt description of drinking alcohol I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Oh, the social worker saying, we don't say goodbye, we just say until we meet again, and I said, that's a real fucking cute line coming from CPS.
For real.
Yeah, so I feel like one of the big controversial points in this movie is that at the end of the movie, Nani ends up not actually keeping custody of Lilo. She relinquishes it, and Lilo ends up staying with David's grandmother, Tutu, who's their neighbor in this case.
Mm-hmm.
And Nani still has Jumba's portal gun, which Jumba didn't have in the original movie, but, you know. So she's still able to visit Lilo at any point. And apparently this is being interpreted as an undermining of the theme, and I don't know, I don't agree. Yes, family is important, and yes, absolutely look out for each other, but Nani being asked to, at that age, be the caretaker for her younger sister, who is not an easy child, even factoring out the deaths of their parents and how that grief is affecting her. That is an unfair ask, frankly.
That is a very unfair ask. Because it's established in that she also has to basically give up her future, because her whole thing is like, alright, well now I'm the only one who can adequately take care of my very eccentric 6-year-old sister. Alright, that's not a equal slice of pie there.
No, and I'm not saying that as a knock against the original movie, because I don't mean to imply that's a flaw. I just mean that the original movie chose to gloss over what not gloss over, but it chose to take a more rose-tinted, idealistic view of that situation, and that Nani's the only one who really understands Lilo, when it's not unfair to say that Nani's not equipped to handle this by herself, and that letting her get her life in order, and letting her do the things that she wants to do while Lilo is still being taken care of. I mean, obviously, this movie gave them an easier out in the form of a neighbor who is basically family already and willing and able to look after Lilo, which didn't exist in the original. So, yeah, it's a little convenient, but I mean, it's still a valid take. And I mean, especially, what were they gonna do? Ship her off the island? I don't think so. Not if they could avoid it.
Yeah, no way in hell.
So, I don't know, I think this is a fair alternate take, frankly. I'll give the movie a lot of crap, but I think that's a valid way of taking this.
Yeah, and it's also kind of establishes the whole thing of, you know, your family isn't always or just the people who share your blood.
Right, which, I mean, to be fair, the original did too, because of Jumba and Pleakley and Cobra kind of joining the extended family, although that didn't really the Cobra part didn't really get followed up in the sequels, but
I feel like the fact that the extended family is more so leans towards the neighbor and David and all that makes that point a little bit more palpable.
Yeah. Along with, honestly, you know what? While Cobra is a worse character, the fact that he's actively not a social worker in this makes the fact that he continues to stick around and get involved touching in its own way.
Man, they better not be doing one of those tic-tac dances.
They better not be uploading another one of those tic-tac dances again.
I don't like how relatable that line felt coming from a man who's 20, 30 years older than I am.
It's because we're old, Greg! We're old! So yeah, let's see. Do I got anything else? I mean, that feels like the main points of differentiation in this movie. Huh.
I feel like I made a joke during the movie, but I can't remember what I said.
Same.
Yeah.
Damn it. Let's see, what would have Stitch getting hit by a truck? No.
No. The BMW scene was just as funny in the movie as it was in the trailer.
Yeah, Stitch throwing the CD and the fucking BMW veered off the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know what? One bit that would have been funnier. Jumbo dragging Pleakley, who's been hit with some kind of paralysis dart or something.
Yeah.
Some kind of immobilizing dart, dragging him across the crosswalk while there's cars on both sides honking, and I really feel like they should have let that joke just carry on for a minute or so. Just...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, same. It only happens a couple of times. One of the things that I thought was really funny that they didn't utilize enough is that there are a couple jokes that are in the movie that are partially carried by the camera work in the movie. The crosswalk one was one of them. Because there's a thing of, like, you see Galifianakis just, like, having his whole evil laugh. You hear honking, and then the camera zooms out like an old, like, mid-2000s sitcom. And I'm just like, alright, that's actually pretty good. It'd be cool if you kept this kind of thing going for a little bit.
Okay, you know what? Actually, I remember a thing.
Okay.
And this is probably not my spot to talk about it, but I still feel like it's worth mentioning, which is that they kind of toned down Lilo's semi-adversarial relationship with the tourists on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Which feels incorrect.
Okay.
Because there's a whole implicit theme with how Lilo interacts with the tourists in the original movie, where you can tell there's I mean, it's filtered through the lens of she's 5 or 6, but there's kind of a disdain for the fact that her home and her neighborhood and her family are basically reduced to a sideshow attraction for these people.
Right.
And it's really, it's borderline absent here in the sense of, yeah, maybe there's some mischief going on, but it's not really directed at them, and she still hangs around the resort quite a bit. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it feels that as too a little bit, especially in the live action movie, it's established that there's a lighter relationship there just because it seems like everyone who's around knows who she is. Like, at one point, one of the people who works at the resort just goes, "Lilo, we know you're there. We can see you on the camera."
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good, but it was also a thing where it's just like, oh, okay, so we're going for a little bit of a lighter tone when it comes to her relationship with, like, all just the general population of her island.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not really the person to take that critique and bring it full circle because I only have a surface level understanding of essentially what the statehood of Hawaii did for its culture. So I don't really know where I'm going with that, but I can
fucking got him.
I can grok enough to know that, like, this feels lesser for that omission.
Right.
Lilo is still definitely Lilo, but there's a piece missing without that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like they still kept the bit where putting a flower lei around Stitch's neck just makes him chill out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I did enjoy but it's such a quick thing too. Granted, it was also quick in the original movie as well. I did enjoy the whole bit of finding out that Stitch functions as a record player and nobody pays attention to it.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Some fun portal shenanigans.
Portal gun shenanigans. The one employee at the wedding venue seeing Stitch go nuts and just being like, "What the hell?" I'm like, that's the most reasonable reaction by anybody in this movie.
That was really good. Oh, man. And also, you know what? I appreciate that they gave Nami's voice actress from all the movies
a role.
Tia Carrere. They gave her a role because she's the social worker in this instance, since Cobra Bubbles actually isn't one.
Right.
And it's clear that much like Cobra Bubbles in the original, she's not actively malicious. She's not actively looking to separate them. She's just concerned with what's best for not just Lilo, but also Nani.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like that's what makes the decision that this movie comes to a little bit better, because Nani's decision in the original movie is framed more in the context of Lilo is not going to be understood anywhere else.
Right.
And that's why you don't want to see them separated. And you still don't want to see them separated here, but you also get a much more direct acknowledgement that it's not... It's Nani going to all this trouble because she feels like it's her responsibility, but also it's not the healthiest choice for her. Because when Cobra Bubbles has his bit in the original, he says something to the effect of, "It's clear to me that you need her a lot more than she needs you."
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It feels a little more balanced this time around of how this is not an ideal situation for either of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you know what? I got one fucking thing where it just... It pisses me off more than it should, but it's so fucking infuriating, and it's the bit where, at the end of the movie, when Stitch is saying goodbye to his family, and he does the "this is my family, I found it all on my own," it's clearly, that's just the same audio clip from the original movie.
Yeah, they just pulled it straight from the original film.
They just ADR'd the original clip in. That should not piss me off as much as it does, but God, you can hear the difference.
Well, how else are they gonna keep it under $100 million budget?
Yeah, I guess having him re-record that line would push it to $150 mil easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That one line, yep, another $50 million. It's like, why is it $50 million? Because we're getting Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to do the line for us.
Oh, shut the fuck up. No, this is a good time. It's nothing great. Doesn't, at least not compared to the original, but...
Oh yeah, no, of course not. But it's still, if you do treat it in its own vacuum, it is still a good time. It's a perfectly adequate movie to watch with your kids around, if you have children.
This is my remake. I made it all on my own.
Yeah.
It's little and broken, but still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah, still good. Oh, God.
I think that about wraps this up, yeah?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Alright, in that case, thanks so much for listening, everybody. You know what to do. You know what to do it. Next week, we'll see, because it's Bring Her Back and it's Karate Kid Legends, and I might try for both, but Bring Her Back is the clear front runner here.
If I am able to see anything, I think Karate Kid is the front runner for me.
Oh, this ought to be fun, then.
Oh, yeah.
Guess we'll find out.
Yes.
But regardless of who sees what, if anything, this has been Under the Bridge with Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And with Greg, aka Greg.
And we'll catch you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!